Elphaba is the main protagonist of Wicked, and today we're going to draw her in neon, anime, magical, and realistic. Let's start off with the neon effect. Before we add the black paint, we need to make sure our sketch lines are nice and dark. And that's what we're going to do is we're going to go over our sketch and add in all these nice little dark lines. So that way, when we add the black over the sketch and underneath, you'll be able to see all of the sketch lines underneath. Another important tip is to make sure that this dries thoroughly before you add any other layer. And as you can see, when it's nice and dry, you can see all the faint little graphite lines that will come underneath. So that way, when we do the neon effect, with our nice greens and our nice whites, it'll just pop right off the page. And I mean, of course, for Elphaba, we have to add green. I mean, it's the most defining characteristic of her. But, and I want to stress this, don't rush this step. Now, this is going at 9 times speed, but it's really about taking your time to make sure that all of the lines get nice and layered over the top of each other. Then you just finish up with the nice, bright, beautiful whites, and then boom, it just comes together as this awesome neon glow effect. It just looks like a perfect little sign. I love the way it comes out. Whenever it's done successfully, in my opinion, it just looks incredible. And with that being said, let's gonna hop on over into the anime style. Now, before we hop too much into this particular section, if you could please do me a favor, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot, and it lets YouTube know that you really like the content. I try to show you guys not only how I create all of my different drawings, but try to also inspire you to become better artists along the way. Now, for transforming Elphaba into an anime character, the one thing that we want to do is change her facial features. Gone are the rounded face that she normally has. We're going to transition her into more of a sleek frame. You're going to have more of an elven-shaped features, more of a pointed jaw. I did wind up exaggerating the hair a little bit. I gave it more of a pointy look rather than the sweeping fine dreads that she has. I know it might be considered weird or it might not look right, but I just don't think it fits the character. A lot of times when we see dreadlocks or any kind of thick braided hair in anime, sometimes it just looks really weird unless it's in these like tight Viking buns, like similar to Vinland Saga. So I didn't want to go too heavy, too obscure. I just want to keep it a very simple character with the hair. I didn't want to go too crazy. I just want to keep it really simple, but where I really want to execute, where I really want to take it to the next level is with the lips and specifically the jawline, because that has to resonate anime. And now let's head on over to the magical effect. And what is the magical effect? Well, basically we want to make it look like the whimsy and magic from the movie has kind of come through. We want to showcase Elphaba's magic. So we're going to do a semi-realistic drawing here because the emphasis is primarily on the magical effect. And I have a little bit of a magic trick for you at the end, but let's just see if that works. But as we get into this particular aspect of the drawing, here's my little cheat sheet for semi-realism. Add tons of gradation tones. For this, I'm going to use an ink wash pens, and they're basically values of grays, and they really help to establish black and white, and you can get a whole bunch of tones down really fast, and you can work an entire image pretty quick, so that way when they dry, and you have to thoroughly let them dry, as you can see, once we add one base color over the top, it adds all that beautiful three-dimensional element. And now on for the magical aspect of this. It was a miss for me. I tried something new, and that's the beauty of art. It's something I really want to stress, is have fun, try new things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. To me, I was trying to go for Elphaba's magic made manifest being projected outward, and it just kind of looked like a silly, goofy couple of swirls. It didn't hit, but that's okay. But now on for the magic trick that I promised you. And I think if you get this, you'll understand how it works. I'm going to place these markers down on the screen. But what I want you to do is I want you to think of a number. Lock it into your head. Think of any number that you want from 1 to 10. Do you got it? Okay. Was it 3? If it does, you have to subscribe. When I was younger, yes, I did try out a bunch of mentalism. I did love learning magic. So I hope you can appreciate my little magician's force, if you will. Now, as you can tell by this drawing, this is going to take a lot of time, and it's also going to be a lot of green. And, well, that's okay, because Elphaba is green, and as Kermit the Frog has always told us,
it's not easy being green.
But all kidding aside, it's not easy doing realism, because these things take lots of time. It's probably one of the things that I overstate the most whenever I'm talking about realism, because the only way you want to achieve something that's realistic or hyper-realistic is to take the time to notice not only the small details, but how those details develop. So for instance, with the eye here, it's more about noticing not only the shape of the eye, but how it sits in the face. Some people it moves forward, some people the nose is forward, sometimes the nose is receded, the chin. All of these things that you study, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve with realism, these are the keys to getting better at art, essentially. I mean, if you're going to try and do realism on any fundamental level, it's not about technique. Technique comes and technique goes, but you have to understand the details, how the pores develop, little things like that. Because if you don't know how pores look, then you won't know how to draw them. So for instance, Cynthia Erivo has really strong jawline, has an incredibly strong cheekbones. They're very prominent and they show up well in the character. Her eyes are stark and striking, gives such presence to the character. We want to make sure that that is emphasized. So you want to make sure that the darks are pushed even darker. It might look bad, but that's how the character then becomes more realistic. And when you start to extrapolate this out into hyperrealism, well, that's when things take a turn sometimes for the long, because hyperrealism is tens and tens of hours. This took me about 2 hours tops, this little section, the top corner. But you know, if you're doing this hyper-realistically, it could take you 15 to 20 hours, maybe more for this little section, because you want to make sure that every little freckle, every little nuance is just right. And you're generally going to work bigger as well, but that is how we take something and make it look next level accurate. Never take for granted the details. So for instance, in the eyebrows and the eyelashes, it's not about just smudging black in. It's about taking the time to actually flick in and then add some color over the top. Add those browns in, make sure you add those freckles. Always add a little bit of highlight to make it pop a little bit more. It'll make it look less like a statue. Well, we're just about done. We've wrapped things up. Which section did you like the best? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video.